Okay, this is just one part, the heart of the Eurovision news operation. How do the circuits, how do we get out on the satellites? From here, we will now go to the satellite dishes where we will meet the satellite engineers. But from this place, we have a fiber connection with the satellite dish that is approximately 400 meters away from here on the other side of the stadium. And we also have from the satellite dish a connection to the EBU side of the song contest with Mr. Frank Salens of Eurovision Operations and Tim Gregg, who is respectively the planner and the dispatcher organizing the voting. When they switch the voting, we will meet them later. But first, the next stage, let's go to the satellite dish, 500 meters away from here. The fibers go from here to the dish, and from the dish we go up on Eutelsat, the satellite. Isn't she beautiful? And it's all one and the same woman, Miss Universe. On the left, we have the Eurovision operation with the stand-up positions. We will now move to the right, and it's not 500 but 300 meters. We just counted it. And there are the satellite dishes. You see 3 dishes. One of them is ours for the Eurovision news operation. One dish is reserved for the EBU Song Contest to do the reception of the channels from all the countries during the voting procedures. Everything is over there. All the dishes, the heart of the dish part of the operation is there. Let's go there. Her name is Xenia, and she is here, not there, where you are. Now, let's turn around and have a look at the satellite dishes here. This satellite dish does the reception during the voting procedures and during the voting ceremony from all the countries involved. It's 8 channels simultaneously to do the reception here. The dish in the middle is the dish we use for the Eurovision operation with the 3 paths. And the dish on the left is a backup dish. Hello, Victor, I am fine. How are you? And you are on camera, ladies and gentlemen. The star-studded Eurovision Moscow uplinkers team, always ready. Eurovision right there. Victor. So this is where the signals go out with those fantastic guys who are working an average of 20 hours a day. We start our day at about 6, 7 in the morning, and we finish very late, at about 1, 2 each night. We will now go to that side, as you can see from here. In one of those containers, in that one over there, is Frank and Tim, and they will explain you their side of the story.
Uplinks is when we deal with the voting. So we have 42 countries voting. We have to receive signals from each of those countries here in the EBU switch and then put them into the program. The way we do that is that we have 8 dedicated voting channels, and we have a predetermined voting sequence. So first of all, we get the first 8 countries up on satellite. I then speak to each one individually. I do a vision test, make sure the vision is okay from each studio. I do an audio test, make sure the levels are fine. I speak to each spokesperson, make sure they have the votes. Once I've spoken to them, I then ask them to listen out for the presenters who'll call them up to vote in turn. So it's quite complex, it's very quick, and problems have been known to happen, but hopefully everything is going to work out fine for this song contest here in Moscow. So there we go. I'll hand you over to Frank Salens now, who's going to tell you a little bit more about the technical workings of the EBU switch. Here you go, Frank. Just a little rundown of the technical setup in the switch here.
Okay, so I think that Tim almost covered everything, so there's not much for me to explain. Maybe we can have a look at our technical setup. So we have a combination of fiber and satellite. So we are making sure that if we have a problem on a satellite, we can switch over to the satellite setup. It's a hybrid situation, a mix of fibers and satellites. So if you can have a look over here, There you will see that we have 8 receivers which are connected to the satellite dish which is standing outside. It's a 3.8 meter dish, so this is for the voting, incoming, local reception. If ever we would have bad weather, rain or any other technical difficulty, we can always fall back on a big dish which is in Frankfurt. We are having the same setup over there. That means 8 receivers on the same channels. The signal from that is being backhauled to Moscow via fiber. This is the tool, the multiplexer, that takes care of that. So the 8 inputs from Frankfurt are being fed once again in 8 decoders, and we have the choice during the voting process to switch between a local reception or a reception in Frankfurt. The distribution of the signal, which is standard definition and high definition, is also via satellite and fiber. This encoder here goes to an SNG truck which is standing up there on the bridge, and has been uplinked to W1 straight away. So here we have our HD distribution, which is being fed from a local SNG which is standing outside. And we have also a backup in case that SNG has a technical difficulty, and we can uplink from a big earth station at about 30 kilometers from Moscow, which is called Bear Lakes. So this has been tested, and they are standing by to take over if ever we have a problem here on this SNG. The standard definition, we have 2 feeds which are permanently transmitted to the satellite, one from here and the other one via fiber to Rambouillet near Paris on another satellite channel. So the takers, the customers, they have the choice between 2 permanent satellite channels for the SD signal. So.
Yes, yes. It was.
We understand, of course, you had enough technical information now about this whole event. So let's have a look at the real song contest. This is one of the entrances to the Olympic Hall. We'll take you there and try and give you a kind of a picture and the atmosphere, showing you the atmosphere of what is happening inside. Let's go.